Hey everyone! I'm so excited because of all the positive feedback I've gotten from this channel and everyone's interest in it. So I just want to thank you before we get started. So thank you. Today's topic will be about serving. I will talk about and demonstrate the standing float and the jump float. Serving is extremely important in the game of volleyball because it happens every single point. The more dangerous you can be with your serve, the better the chance you'll have to give your team to win the game. I think the float serve is the most effective serve. If you can make the ball dance in the air, it'll give the passers less time to create their angle to make a perfect pass. And by dancing in the air, I mean the ball isn't supposed to spin. It's just like a knuckleball in baseball. It's going to float, and it's going to move, and it's going to go boom, hopefully. Some people are better at stand floating and others are better at jump floating. I prefer to jump float because when I'm in the air, I use my body more with my rotation and I'm at a higher level so I can contact the ball a little bit higher so it drives down at a lower angle. How to make the ball float. We're going to talk about where to contact it on your hand and the ball and what speed you should be serving at. So when you're contacting the ball, you want to contact it at the middle to lower part of your palm. Where to contact the ball depends on your height. If you're taller, you can contact the ball more at the top to middle part of the ball and still be able to make the ball float, but at a lower angle. Whereas if you're shorter, you'll probably have to use the bottom to middle part of the ball so you can still get it over the net and it can still float down. Serving speed is really important for floaters. It doesn't spin, or it's not supposed to spin, so it's not going to drop down if you hit it hard. It's just going to keep going out. If you don't serve it hard enough, it's probably not even going to make it over the net. So when we're aiming for a part on the court, there's 3/3 on the court, between the 10-foot line, the middle part of the court, and the back third of the court. And we want that ball to float all the way to the back third. The most important part about the floater is having it not spin. So how do we do that? Well, when I follow through with my serve, I stop up here and I make sure I have a nice high five. Because if I curl my hand or if I put some spin on it, it's obviously going to spin, and that's not a floater. Well, when I freeze, I make sure my hand is up here with a strong wrist so that the ball doesn't end up spinning. It's just going to contact off my hand and float. If I start curling my hand over, it's going to put some topspin on it, and that's not what we want. So when I set up my feet, I want to stay about 30 degrees away from my target, and then when I toss the ball, I'm going to step towards my target. So my foot should end up facing my target. When I toss, I'm going to step towards my target. It should be facing my target. And then I'm going to use my hip power to generate some power behind my arm so it takes less stress off of my shoulder. The toss is the most important thing about serving. It needs to be in front of your hitting shoulder and high enough to where your contact point reaches it. So that's going to look like this. Something you can do to practice your toss is stand on any line or stand a little behind the line, and then just make sure it's in front of your hitting shoulder and you want it to drop around the line. So it's going to look like this. Step, toss. That wasn't good enough, so I need to toss it a little bit more in front of my hitting shoulder. That one was a lot better. It landed on the line right in front of my hitting shoulder, and I'm ready to toss and swing. So after you toss, you want to generate power from your hips first before the arm swing. A lot of people tend to already be squared to the net, and that causes lower back pain, and it also causes a lot of shoulder pain when you're trying to contact the ball. So you want to generate from the hips first, step here, and follow through here. When I'm starting here, my shoulder is facing my target first, and I want to end up with my shoulder rotating all the way to my target. At At the end of each serve, you want to freeze to your target so you know where it's going. If I'm all the way over here and my ball goes out, I know why. It's because my hand is facing there and my body is over-rotated. So whenever I serve the ball, I want to stop, check where my hand is, and if it goes to the target, great. So my focus there was to serve straight down the line to area 1. I checked my palm and it went down there. So there's a lot of aspects of jump floating. You have a 2, 3, or 4-step approach. You also have a one-handed toss or a two-handed toss. I do a two-handed toss, 4-step approach, and I'm going to break that down for you. You're jump floating, it's extremely important to keep that elbow high, because if you drop your elbow and you're jumping, it's going to be a really random serve. So always keep that frame or your elbow high so you can strike through and have a quick line drive here. Something to really help is to always practice your toss, so you can self-toss and make sure your elbow is high. You don't have to serve it, just toss to yourself. If it's good, then go ahead and serve it. If not, stop, don't waste a rep, error correct yourself, and retoss. So I start with the ball in both hands. I'm going to take 4 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to take off from here. And when I'm in the air, I'm going to try to use my body as much as I can to generate power from my hips to be able to swing with my shoulders. Thank you guys again for tuning into this week's episode. I hope your float serves improve, and next week we'll be talking about the jump topspin. So please like, subscribe, and direct any comments or questions to me, and also feel free to tell your volleyball friends about it, because that's what we're here for. If you volley, I dig it. On your hand and on the ball. So you... Talking about serving. Float. I need like a dance party right now.
Yeah. Work it out, work it out, work it out.